Yo, what's going on? Happy New Comic Book Day Eve, aka no more She-Hulk, because that's over. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. I know there's no She-Hulk, obviously, but I think there's Andor, whatever that is. That's happening. Obviously, we got Black Panther coming in 3.5 weeks, and then of course, the man that's gonna break the internet, the man that's gonna save DC. Mr. Black Adam, this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly is probably going to go on Saturday because it's DC. I don't need to go see it the opening day. Not really that too excited for it, but anyway, I will be checking it out on Saturday. So no spoilers, even though Superman's already been spoiled. I'm joined today by one amigo. Let's bring him out. It is none other than Mr. Rocksteady. What's happening?
Sup?
Sup?
Hey, how long did you wait in line to meet The Rock?
How long? Oh yeah, he was in Toronto. I did not go, man. No, that's not for me.
He went to a bunch of different spots. They're pushing him really hard.
He hit up Toronto and New York in the same day or something. I don't know. Also, I do want to, for those of you keeping score at home, these will be the last Twisted Teas you see on the Newbie-verse. Too much sugar, way too much sugar. Big shout outs, by the way. I got to give a big shout outs to Spec Tales. They sent me this t-shirt.
That's sick.
Great. I love the baseball cut. It's got the sleeve, so I love that. But Jake and Jesus, big shout outs to them at the Spec Tales podcast. They sent me a shirt. Hopefully it doesn't get ruined in the dryer, but big shout outs to them. If you're not familiar with them, go check them out. They don't do the YouTube thing. They do the podcast thing. They're way cooler. They're living in 3022. So make sure you guys go check them out. Rocksteady. New Comic Book Day, comic news. We're talking She-Hulk. Man, there's a lot of news this week. Usually I ask, just before we're about to go, busy week, light week, heavy week. What are your thoughts? And just before you answer, I'm going to say mine. It is super light this week, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty light as well. I don't have a ton pre-ordered.
No? No ratios, no?
No. We'll see how the day goes. It's mostly just my regular pull stuff, I think, that I have coming out.
All right. Before we get started, let's say hello to the chat, and then let's rock and roll. My man, Mr. Just Cruise, coming home with the gold medal stain in Canada. Dan Delatorre with the silver. Dan, you need to change your avatar picture, all right? You really do. You need to change it. It's not funny. You need to change it.
It doesn't get old for me.
Comic Kingpins, depending on who is running this account today, there's a 20% chance this is an American medal, or there's 80% chance that this medal's staying in Canada. But what's going on, Comic Kingpins? Just celebrated 1 year on YouTube yesterday. Go check out the Rewind. Doing some great stuff. They had a lot of
congrats.
Yeah.
Love those guys.
Thanks for the invite. Actually, no, I got invited, but I had a date night with the wifey, so it was I was unable to. Mr. Michael Baker's in the house. What's going on? You're taking home no medal because the Comic Kingpins got the bronze. Sorry, bud.
Too slow.
What?
Too slow.
Newbie Commons with a platinum. Hernani's in the house. What's going on? RP missed him on over the weekend, but we'll see each other again, man, soon. Nowhere Bounds in the house. AOA Twisted Tea. Ew. Mr. Bleeker. Don't hate on the Twisted Tea. These are the last two, okay? Last two. Mr. Bleeker's in the house. Ew. That's what my wife says, too. When I brought the case home, she's like, what is that? I was like, Twisted Tea. She's like, what are you? What did she say? She's like a scout? She's like, are you a scout or like a Girl Guide or something? Something around those
lines. So your 19th birthday?
She's like, what are you, 14? Mr. Swagglehouse is in the house. What's going on, dude? How you doing, brother? Hope everything is good on your end. Morgan, Ned, and Annie are the kittens. Oh, God. Morgan, what's going on? Haven't talked to you in a while. Mr. Steve's in the house. Nice. I just thought of the South Park. Nice. The redhead cop?
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, let's get it started, guys. I'm ready to rock. A lot of news that I think took a little back seat because of one headline, and then the rest kind of just took a back seat to it. We're also going to be talking about that show that ended last week. Do you remember what the name was, Greg?
Andor?
No, we're talking She-Hulk, the finale. Yes, we finally got the finale, and nobody's been really talking about it. Everyone's just been hating on it. And in this fast-paced comic world community we live in lately, it just seems like something comes out, a book is hot, and then maybe like 20 hours later, it's like, what's next? And I think that's going to be bad for the community, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's get it started. Like I said, it is a very light week, so I'm excited to go and talk news and review She-Hulk. My Andor review, they're coming, people. They're coming. I'm just gearing up for Black Adam, though. That's
episode 900. You will get your Andor review.
There you go. It'll be like year 2105, and I'll just start doing Star Wars.
And we'll be floating heads in jars.
Yeah. Oh, Futurama. All right, show 107, and yes, our friend to the left, Mr. Blakk Crown, could not make it today. That's okay. We don't need.
I think he just wants his picture up there every week.
I think so too. I think so too.
Very
but he will be joining us supposedly 100% next week. That's what he said. So we'll see. Yeah, wait. We can finally agree on something. She-Hulk was finally. Sorry, hold on. She-Hulk finale was solid. Wow. One sip of this and it downhill. All right, let's talk about some channel sponsors and friends of the channel. First up, we got Bleeker St Comics, $10 a press, $5 a clean. Make sure you guys go check him out on Instagram, and of course, you can find him on Tony Sanders' channel as he does those hunts. He is a world champion now. Also, if you ever visit Niagara Falls or Niagara region, make sure you guys check out the flea market on Turner Crest on Sundays, because that's where he rolls and that's where he's got his stuff. Also, guys, a friend and channel sponsor, Back in Time Comics. This guy does it all: toys, comics, Funkos, autographed jerseys, you name it. He just found, it's so funny, he messaged me this weekend. He's like, hey, man, I just found like 200 slabs in my basement. And it's like, I wish I had that problem. Back in Time Comics, find him on Facebook, Instagram, CGC authorized dealer, great guy, awesome dude, one of the best to do it. Proud to call this guy my buddy. So make sure you guys go check out Back in Time Comics. All right, we're switching it up. I'm putting Dynamite Pick of the Week at the front again. I don't like it how it's at the end. I just don't, because usually the people that are Dynamite fans always bring up the pitchforks, and I'm not a fan of it. So,
Tim? One Dynamite fan.
Yeah, Tim, and he's not even here, so screw it. All right, Dynamite Pick of the Week. Here we go. And again, if you're watching this down the road on the rewind, you're watching it with kids, I don't suggest you watch my show with kids, especially when we talk about Dynamite Pick of the Week. But this week's Dynamite Pick of the Week just really caught my eye. Red is my favorite color. I feel like I look good in red. It's just got a lot of things that I liked about this. It really caught my eye. I had to do a double take, so I picked it. A lot of people are not going to like this pick, but it is what it is. So Dynamite Pick of the Week is Vampirella Strikes number 6, the cosplay cover E. If you guys take a look right in the description there, so Vampirella Strikes. I love that yellow with the red there. It really looks good. 6 is kind of one of my favorite numbers. It's either 10 or 6 for me. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. Also, I do want to thank everybody for pointing out that I haven't really picked the Dynamite Pick of the Week book that's been $3.99 or affordable. So here we go. We got a $3.99 Dynamite Pick of the Week. Greg, any thoughts on the Dynamite Pick of the Week this week?
I think she got that shirt from Dynamite.
I think so too.
Maybe they don't have Dynamite in the States and people have no clue what I'm talking about. But good pick. I don't know.
Yeah, those are real.
Yeah, like
I don't mind.
Like in the mutation, did she get implants?
Oh, jeez. I have this book. It's a scratches. Oh, you sick people. Sick people. This is somebody's daughter. All right, guys, let's move on to New Comic Book Day. And again, New Comic Book Day this week. Me personally, I think it's light. Talking to some people, it's kind of light. And I know some people are like, well, Noob, I mean, maybe, yeah, on the flip side, and Spec, yeah, I mean, it is. But even like some of the books that are coming out, it's just like, So we'll take a look at it here.
Well, the light weeks I find are when the sleepers show up.
I think there's going to be one sleeper, and I don't know. I was talking to Sniff Comics. He's on Instagram. He messaged me. We talk from time to time, and he messaged me about a certain book, and I had said, I'm like, Sniff, it's not a first appearance though, and he's like, I know, but it's a second appearance and it's a cover appearance, and I go, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll get into that book. All right, new comic book day. We're starting off with something totally off the rails, but we got issue 1, Alpha Betas, the old school Nintendo vibe. And basically, I just put this out there as kind of one of those books like, hey, you're probably not going to see this on shelf unless you ordered it or your shop orders it for someone and they don't get it. But I don't know, man. Some of these old school video game stuff, they do pick up heat. A lot of them, I don't know. I just kind of saw this and I'm like, you know what? Maybe for a flip. I don't know. I don't know anything about the storyline. But what are your thoughts?
I feel like history is repeating itself. Like through the 90s, we started getting into like gimmick covers at one point when they were getting desperate to sell comics. We're into the gimmick era, and now we're into like the Valiant era. Like we're getting a new publisher who's just a little bit late to the game for this time right now. And there have been so many covers of Alpha Betas already at NYCC and on whatnot. That thank you variant of the preview comic is only worth like $15. People will like this. I do think it will be heavy ordered for the week. But I don't know. I've heard good things about it, but I am surprised this was the first book that they came out with.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I obviously didn't order it. And usually in that other category, I mean, unless you order it, you're pretty much late to the party. There's no way you're going to be getting it half the time. And no disrespect to any shops around here, even in different areas that I've been, sometimes that other pile, a lot of the shop people don't even know the books that are in there, right? So you kind of, I've gotten the, what book? A lot sometimes, just simply, you know, Honey Gun. That was one.
Gun Honey.
Yeah, Gun Honey. That was one that I remember asking my shop, and they're like, "What?" Just because you know they don't necessarily know everything that's coming out. So I don't know.
But this was publicized pretty heavy in previews.
Yeah. I mean, if you see one, I mean, it's kind of popular. So I don't know. Long term, I don't see anything. Short term, I don't see anything. Flip wise, maybe if you can make this a $20 book, but I think it's going to be short lived. All right. Guys, we've got R.L. Stine. So we got Stuff of Nightmares. So this is issue number 1, second print. So if you missed out on issue 1, you know how comics are. We do late printings. Greg, you are a fan and I guess you could say a Jedi when it comes to the later printings. No, you're shaking your head.
Justin's so mad right now.
No, probably. I disappoint him a lot, though. Stuff of Nightmares 2, second print. Do you think it's going to be one of the books that people kind of go and chase after just simply because of kind of the success? Remember, too, R.L. Stine, right? From what I hear, this was a decent read. It was pretty good. I got to admit, I dig the cover and I dig the colors and just everything about it. Artsy-wise, I'm a fan.
So when pre-order first came out, I didn't order it. And then I've been thinking on it. And if it's on the shelf, I'm going to grab one. My thoughts are R.L. Stine is a big name. And I could see it getting picked up by for a YTV special, like Halloween special, or maybe something along those lines where I don't think it has long legs, but I think there could be a pop for it. It'll get optioned. We'll see what happens after that. But even books that are getting optioned now, $10, we talk about a lot of these books and there's so much of it now that
just because it's option doesn't mean squat anymore, right? I mean, what was the one that they just pulled after even filming a whole season? What is it? Grendel?
Yeah. Well,
right?
Grendel there is a lot of history with Grendel though. It's a little bit different. This is a new title. I don't know. I can go on to name how many.
Yeah, it's true.
Books that recently got optioned and nothing happened.
So I asked you. There's no cover. There's no ratio. We got a Sozo ratio. So this is the 1 in 25, if I'm mistaken. The card stock ratio for Catwoman 48, I think we're at. Not her. I will say, I love this chick. I love her style. Not her best work by any means compared to like her other, really good ones. But if you follow the trend, this should be a $50 book for at least a day. I didn't get one. My shops didn't order anything close to getting this one, so none around here. But I mean, if we're doing history, this like I said should be a $20 to $50 book at least for Wednesday, because her stuff is killing it, and this book should be on a few top 10s on Friday.
This will be interesting to see how it plays out with the changed landscape. If this came out a year ago, it would be a bonkers book. I'm very curious to see where this goes. I'm very curious to see how many shops get it.
Yeah.
I think it'll for sure hold ratio. If you can get it for ratio, I'd grab it. But then, yeah, I really don't know. This is a really tough one for me to forecast.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not anything close to like, it's almost like she went a different style. And I mean, that's fine. I just don't know what it'll do down the road. Like you put this one.
No, this is like of some of her other stuff. It's okay. It's pretty typical, but yeah, it's not like the other stuff is what's interesting.
I don't know, man. I don't know. If I see it on the shelf and they don't know that it's, like if they sell it to me for cover, I'm game.
Oh yeah.
Staying with Batman and the females, I am Batman number 13. Obviously the big thing and the big takeaway from here, just throwing some knowledge out there, but obviously I think her Tiffany, right? Tiffany Fox kind of takes the mantle. It's an okay cover. I'm not picking this up. I haven't read anything of this run. I mean, it's DC. Come on. Ew. But nevertheless, people are jumping on it, right? A lot of people are jumping on the kids lately. So Tiffany Fox's turn. She's taking the mantle. I'd rather just keep my money in my pocket. What are your thoughts here?
It's an interesting time at DC right now. There seems to be a lot of news coming out of DC. They seem to be building a universe. Whenever you build a universe and you take it to film, there's going to be some missing pieces. So now might be a time to jump in on some of these if there's smaller stuff. Like, I'm not usually a big DC guy, but I feel like this could be an interesting time for DC moving forward. I personally am not going to grab this one, but I think some books from this line could be interesting down the road.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. The last DC book, I promise. But we got Flashpoint Beyond. It's a decent cover. I mean, Batman looks pretty badass in the background. So this is obviously the finale of this, but we get a first appearance. Can't remember what the first appearance is. Oh, shoot. I had it at the tip of my tongue. Can't remember. But anyway, we do get a first appearance in this. Will this garner, 20, 30, 40 bucks? I don't think so. But, there's a lot of people that kind of push, hey, it's the first appearance, and you might be surprised. You might be able to get 15 bucks for it. I don't see it happening. There's many first appearances that kind of just don't even move the needle. I think this one's going to go that same route. I hope I'm wrong, because I guess my shop put one aside for me, but I don't know. I'm not really chasing this. I could care less about it. So the only positive for me, hopefully it's $20 book somewhere. I don't know.
All I know is Batman's a busy guy.
He's everywhere, dude.
He's in everything.
He's everything. And we get so many of these stories. I don't know. That's why I think I lost kind of a lot of like street cred for him and like in commons, not the character overall, just like because there's always something going on. So I don't know.
That's
AOA, yeah, the bloody Martha cards are pretty cool too. All right. Let's get into some Marvel. We got Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That's correct. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This one makes the list as it is a number 1. It is the Spider-Man. I gotta be honest with you, not a fan of the cover. Killing Iron Man there, not a fan of that. Am I picking this up for $4.99? Nope. Can't have any comics that have Iron Man laying down or beaten up. I did that mistake with Avengers Annual 10. We'll make that same mistake again. Greg, what are your thoughts here? Think there's something here? Is it nothing? What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna read it. I'm getting one to read, so I like Spider-Man. You know that.
A lot of covers.
Yeah, so this is not one where you want to chase incentive variants because there's going to be a lot of covers. Every shop is going to order 25. So don't buy that first day. Wait a little while. Wait till it's on the shelves a little bit longer, or go to a shop that did their own exclusive and get the ratios from them. Buy a package or something.
Yeah.
Spider-Man ones will always hold value. The ratios will hold value, but maybe not for ratio. So give it some time. You'll get the big ones if you don't get them right away.
You'll get the big ones if you don't get them right away. We got Midnight Suns, and I got to be honest with you, Dr. Doom looks a little goofy. If you actually zoom in on the face, he kind of looks like. But we get introduced to a younger version of Agatha Harkness in this one. Again, don't really see myself buying it, but people are running and talking about this. I've had a few people message me saying, "Noob, did you know that this?" Yeah. But other than that, I mean, it's a pass for me. I don't know. Again, another book that's got a few covers, so just be careful. This is cover A, but it's a pass for me.
The Agatha thing is interesting because they might make her a large part of the MCU moving forward because she did so well. So what are the other Agatha keys? There's her first appearance, then there's her first cover. There's like a cool cover in the Scarlet Witch run, but there's really not much Agatha.
Yeah.
And there's not many of those other Agatha books out there. So
her son,
I think,
right? Her son is a key. I would add that in there as well.
Yeah.
FF 186, 184.
So moving forward,
186 is the Salem
scratch,
son.
right? Yeah. So moving forward, this may not be bad if it's in the top 5 or 6 of Agatha keys.
It's true.
May not be a bad play, right?
Wolvie swiped that Doom and didn't even rip his tunic. Chef's in the house. What's going on, Chef? How you doing, man? Killed it last night on Comic Kingpins, showing off your goods, man. All right. Probably the book that most people will chase. Probably the book that most people will be buying. Probably the book that most people will be reading. But we got Crypt of Shadows #1. Again, I do have to warn you guys, there is a ton of covers, ton of exclusives. Here's the thing. This is Brielle, Blade's daughter, her second appearance and her first cover appearance. A lot of people are kind of going to this one just simply because, well, there's like 3 billion copies of that free comic book day, Judgment Day from, I think it was June. That is technically her first appearance. I don't know what to do here because it is a first cover and second appearance. I don't think first covers are really right now. You have to look at the market of what it is now, right? You have to, you like in anything, right? Like I can't be talking about, no, I'm going to save my money to buy the iPhone 25 because that's going to be the best one. Well, yeah, we're at 14. So obviously 25 is going to be better than 14. You can't think like that, right? So I don't know. I don't know about this character down the road, but I do know that freebie is probably going to be the winner. Nothing to take away from this, but like covers right now, they're not garnering any money. So if you're doing it for flip or spec, I mean, grab it for the spec because it's cover, but like I don't know, first cover is not really pushing any weight right now. What are your thoughts, Greg?
I think this will outsell the free comic book day version probably by next year. Like the value of this will be higher than that one. Even though that's her first appearance, there are so many. Like there are 1 in 1,000s, and there are a bunch of the 1 in 1,000s floating around for that free comic book day one, right? And the people who get free comic book days now aren't the kids anymore, aren't whatever. They're dudes like us who are like, okay, which is the one to speculate on? So we're grabbing it and we're putting it in a bag and board, and there is a million of those free comic book day ones out there. I don't think there's going to be a ton of these ones. Like Chris is saying, like this is a sick cover. And look at, I want to like maybe point out who's on the cover. Werewolf by Night we've seen, Man-Thing we've seen, Moon Knight we've seen. We have Blade's daughter confirmed. Elsa we've seen. Who are we waiting to spec on here? Is X-23 coming?
Don't tell me that, man. But we've already seen her.
Is this going to be the Midnight Suns we were hoping for? Is this going to be that modified version? Because we don't have that Ghost Rider confirmation. You know, stuff like that. Blade is pushed back, so we got Blade's daughter. This is a very interesting move and slip in, I think, by Marvel.
Is there any ratios for this?
I haven't looked into it too much.
Well, actually, hold on. You need to get this one because unless she's on the cover of a ratio, then it wouldn't be first cover either, right? So you kind of lose out on that. So cover A is essentially what you want to go for anyway, because if not, you're just going to have a high ratio of a second appearance.
I don't think a lot of people will be ordering a ton of these.
Fuck. I think I only ordered
because this came out before, like the FOC for this was before Werewolf by Night was dropped, so we didn't know about Man-Thing. There were rumors. Same with, we kind of knew Elsa, but you know, yeah, I think it's this could be an interesting play.
Fuck. Damn it! I'm gonna have to call my shop and get another copy. If you think it's good, I'm gonna buy it. I'll buy it. I don't know. I kind of struck out on the Briar stuff that happened 2 weeks ago, so I'm like, kind of not wanting to go to my shop and do that. You know, hey guys, I'm here for my pull, and then they pull out like 7 copies of Briar, and you're just like, oh,
now I gotta pay for those.
What a fucking idiot. No, they're sometimes pretty good, because sometimes they'll be like, hey man, like I know somebody that's looking for this. Like, are you cool? And I'm like, yeah, take it. Swag is saying this is a pretty cool book in my opinion. Yeah. So first cover of Brielle, and of course, second appearance fully. But like you said, right, there's so many of that 1 in 1,000, the freebie. So it is gonna be interesting to see where this kind of compares. But yeah, Greg, I kind of like the vibe that you're going with. You know, we've seen some of these characters. Who's the chick beside Man-Thing? Who's that supposed to be? Do we know?
I can't.
No,
I don't know.
That could be a first appearance of whoever that character is too, right? Or first cover, because we know that first appearances are on covers and yada yada.
The chat will help us out.
Yeah, somebody will, but definitely a book I would get. All right, let's go to the meat and potatoes, man. I love talking about the news. A lot of stuff was happening. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff in our. Kev saying it's Bloodborne. Man, that's a hot name for a chick. Hey, what's your sister's name? Bloodborne. Ooh, damn. Okay. All right.
Next on stage.
Bloodborne on stage, please. What's up, Uncanny X Dan? What's going on? So yeah, we'll definitely be looking at that book. So let's go into it. Let's take a look at the news. All right. First up, and guys, I always bring to light when we talk about DC on here, because a lot of people are like, Noob, you never talk about DC. No, I talk about DC. Just I don't really talk about it a lot, and I probably don't talk about it when you're watching. That could be it. But nevertheless, 3 projects are coming. Matt Reeves is overseeing the development of these projects. Now, there are a lot of people who can vouch for me when I said, hey, if they were to do a lot of these characters that Batman has and go dark with them, they would have something. Now, the 2 that I always thought right off the bat were Mr. Freeze and Riddler. Obviously, we got Riddler in the movie, so I don't think they'll go down that route. But Clayface, Scarecrow, and Professor Pig. Professor Pig could be like one of those creepy, fucked up shit. I don't know, man. I'm kind of excited for this if they go that dark route. Might not be connected to the DCU, but at this time, I mean, I think that's a good thing. What are your thoughts here? And is there one of the 3? I know they're just rumors, but are one of the 3? You know, are you more hyped to see one of these more than the other?
Clayface, like from the original Adventures cartoon, like Clayface was badass.
I don't know. I think Professor Pig could be like one of those cynical, crazy.
Okay, but hey, fuck yeah, DC. This is what we want to see. Don't give us a new Batman, Superman, Batman, Superman. don't put Batman in these shows. Make it about these other characters, build better characters, and build a better universe. So this is a good move if they don't tie everything back to Batman right away. You can have hints, you can have, but like don't give everything at once. What made Marvel was the teasing and the anticipation. Don't give us everything at once.
Yeah, I agree. Cruz is saying, I still haven't finished Last Batman. Cruz, I'm telling you this as a friend who cares. I would watch that movie because you know what? That movie was badass. I enjoyed that Batman. There was a lot of good. But yeah, I agree. I just like these takes on it. And I think what you're going to end up having in, say, a 5 to 8 year time, you're going to have people be like, man, I kind of like whatever's going on over here that's not connected to the DCU, like just these like solo projects and the storyline and things like that. Like you look at the Joker, I mean, it was twisted, it was like crazy. So I think they have something. I think they have a formula. They have characters they could go really dark with. These three for sure. And I'm interested to see what happens, man. I really am. And I'm with you. As long as they don't rush Batman into it, I'm okay with it. I'm really
don't give us what we've already seen. Give us a new direction.
Like, give me like, well, I don't know. I'm saying Poison Ivy.
I want Poison Ivy.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for Halloween, man. Oh, if you know anybody wearing a Poison, you know what? I shouldn't say that. Let's move on. Big news. We finally get a rated R project, but it's not the one that you think, guys. But Marvel Zombies, yeah, obviously Halloween coming, and everybody being a fan of Marvel Zombies. When is it coming out? What are they going to rate it? Is it going to go this way? Is it going to be that? Well, you get R rated. So that means there's probably going to be gore. There's probably going to be some nasty stuff. There's obviously going to be blood, people's heads being chopped off, all that stuff. Maybe nudity? I don't know. But it's rated R, 4 episodes. That's it. I think that's way too many for me. I'm not really a fan of the whole zombie thing. I don't think I ever will be. But that FF, 21 or 22, probably going to be seeing a top 10
the ultimate
debut in a near top 10 for sure.
So I'm not a zombie guy. My favorite zombie movie is Zombieland, only because it's a comedy. But there is a huge zombie base out there. Like,
huge.
Walking Dead was huge. Everything zombie that comes out, there's pops, there's shows about. So I think there's a market for it. And I think 4 is good, where you're not saturating everybody. You're getting a taste for it. You let people get into it, and then you go from there.
They're probably going to be an hour long. There's no way it's going to be 30 minutes like She-Hulk. Especially if it's 4, it's got to be an hour at least.
40 minutes with 30 minutes of credits.
10-second end credit scene. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really hyped for this. I could really care less.
I'm not a zombie guy either.
Yeah, me neither. Zombie or vampires, I could really care less. All right, this one, I thought I was ahead of the curve. If we would have done the show when I found this out, I mean, you guys would all be praising me. But I don't need it. So Sacha Conan supposedly is being casted as Mephisto. Greg, it's Mephisto. You know that guy that every show that's come out since the name Mephisto has been mentioned, and we always say, oh, that's Mephisto, that's Mephisto. You know, the guy that constantly for the past 2.5 years, everyone's like, is that Mephisto? Is that Mephisto? Is finally supposedly coming. If I would have told you 2 years ago, hey, Greg, I bet you $1 million that Mephisto shows up. And you'd be like, yeah, I already know. But then I said, hey, but Greg, hold on. He's going to show up in Ironheart. You probably would have been like, don't be my friend. Stop talking to me. Because there's no way you probably would have put those two characters together, right? But it's interesting to me that he's showing up for the first time in Ironheart because there were so many different storylines and characters that we've seen so far that he probably could have fit a little bit better, right? So I don't discredit this rumor. I don't discredit Sacha Conan. I think he'll do a really good character. I'm just kind of questioning how it fits into the Ironheart stuff because I can't see her just battling Mephisto like that. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I think we've squeezed Mephisto out of Disney. Like, I think they didn't have plans for him for a long time, and everybody and all the hype generated around it. They said, "Well, we got to do Mephisto because there's so much hype. Like, that's where the interest is." If this is true, I really like it. I really like him as the casting. He is funny, but he is smart. He is a great actor. I think he would do a bang up job at this character.
But they also have a good, they have a good way of bringing in certain actors or actresses and like really turning them dark, right? Like,
Yeah.
Say what
Elizabeth
you want.
Olsen.
That's what I was going to say, right? Like Owen Wilson, perfect example. Yeah, okay, he hasn't really been, that big or an A-lister for say 5-6 years. But like you go take a look 10 years ago. I mean, he is an A-lister 10 years ago. He was everywhere. He has a ton of movies. Like he's successful, things like that. And they made everybody love him again.
He was the best part of that show.
Yeah, right? So like I could totally see them kind of doing it this way. I get it. He's a funny guy and people, I see the memes and I'm like, you honestly think that they're going to bring him in to be that stupid? No. This could also be a redirect where he could be playing Mephisto, but like, at a school play or something like that. So I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. We'll see. I don't know. It's a good casting though. What do you think?
Overall, I think it's fantastic casting if it's true. I like the idea.
I guess we're gonna have to wait till 2023. 2023 or 2024?
Well, if we knew everything, we wouldn't have a show.
That's true. That's true. I still think Mephisto is Ralph Boner. He's a one and done.
Vancouver just like saying boner.
Yeah, I think so. Grow up, Chris. Jeez. All right, DC, man. Noob, you're talking DC a lot today. What's going on? It's the Twisted Tea, I swear. But Man of Steel #2 in the works for Mr. Henry. Here's the thing, people, and this is not a spoiler. Don't attack me. Don't bring the pitchforks. Don't, bombard my Instagram or anything like that. This is not a spoiler that hasn't already been said. Do you know why? Because the man, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, said it himself. Superman is appearing in Black Adam. What does that mean? Clearly, Superman has a future. And I've never met an actor, I guess it's different with Marvel and DC, but I've never met an actor who will say, hey, yeah, this is our spoiler. This character's showing up. Obviously, it's been spoiled already that he's showing up. No images yet, but I mean, the movie does come out this week. We could see something tomorrow, or maybe we just don't care as much as we do when Marvel projects come out. I'm excited for him again, I guess, but I'm not going to be rushing out to go see Man of Steel 2 probably the first 2 days because I could totally care less about the character. What are your thoughts, man? Is this big? Because clearly the two people that they're going to be kind of molding DC around is Black Adam and Superman, right?
Well, like I said, why do you have to have a movie and sneak Superman or Batman into every single one of them? I hope I don't want him in Black Adam right away. And more Superman movies. This movie sounds like something I would go see if there was nothing else good to go see.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing too that hurts us is the fact that they, in my time, I think I've seen Superman be played by 3 different people, if I'm not mistaken, right? We've seen 3, maybe 4 or 5 different ones.
Yeah, Lois and Clark even. There's just so much different.
Right? Yeah, so I can't I don't know, man. It's a little weird. So I don't know. I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Henry obviously going to be the 2 focal points. Throw in Wonder Woman, throw in what's his name? Jason Momoa. I think those are kind of the 4. Obviously Flash, I mean, go fuck him. Cyborg, nowhere around. And I think Batman, they're probably just going to be like, hey, we just want you to do solo stuff. So we'll see. But I don't know, man. I'm not really rushing for this one. I'm glad to see him in the Superman because this is the role that he really wants. But yeah, I could care less, man. We'll see. We'll see how he does in Black Adam, which will probably be like
2 seconds.
20-second thing, right? So I don't know. The early reviews of Black Adam. Big shout outs to Vancouver Comic Junkie because he told me, "Hey, Noob, be ready because they're gonna be terrible." But apparently, the reviews so far are terrible for Black Adam. Just throwing this out there, not my words, but apparently all the fight scenes kind of just are the same thing. A lot of people who are watching it were like, I'm confused at what's going on. They try to just, it's not looking so good. The numbers money-wise will probably be there, but yeah, it's not looking too good.
DC needs that so bad.
DC just needs to do like a Wonder Woman Poison Ivy porno. Anyway, moving on. Disney announced, or supposedly is reported, because of the success of Werewolf by Night, by like the 35 people that liked it, is reportedly planning to release Nova as a special presentation on Disney, because apparently the special presentations are the way to go now. I think that's BS. I think if you're a Nova fan and this is the news you're getting, I think you're disappointed. The only thing I can see here, Greg, is it's a presentation. We get Nova, we get Sam Alexander, and then they just kind of rush Sam Alexander, and Nova, Dick Ryder, just kind of gets pushed to the back. I don't know. That's kind of the way I see it. Nova fans are rejoicing because their character is finally going to be on the screen, and that's great for them, but I think they're doing a disjustice to the character by doing the special presentation. But I don't know anything about movies or if this is going to be good. That's why I don't work at Marvel. But what are your thoughts, man? I don't know. As a fan, not really digging the whole special presentation.
I don't mind it. Think about the way people are talking about some of the other series. Oh, you could have condensed that into 3 episodes, or you could have condensed that into 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I think we have to look at it like a one shot that's connected to the universe and is maybe going to give us the origin story. Instead of rushing it in another project, you get the detailed origin story, and then he's already there, and you can start the other project with some basis.
This is a rock comment. AOA, no one is a Nova fan, only Spec. No, I know Brandon.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big one. I remember I've been on record early on in my YouTube career, I guess if that's what we're calling it, or life or whatever. I was thinking that Nova would kind of take that mantle of like leader and say that cosmic stuff. I really did. I know it came out of my mouth where I said, Nova could be like the Iron Man of that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of disappointed in the special presentation. I get what you're saying about the condensing of the episodes, but you're introducing a brand new character, cosmic. That's the route we're going. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it. So we'll see. Tons of Nova ones too. Surprised that Nova didn't make a top 10 list, but I mean, then again, we're not on Friday yet, so we'll see. Steve is saying I dig Nova. Cruz, I agree. He's not the most creative. Excuse me. Sorry, guys and ladies. Cruz, I agree. He's not the most creative, very two-dimensional, so I wasn't thinking much of Adam. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Vancouver. Nova is a cosmic Peter Parker. He could be tons of fun if done right. 100%. All right. Switching gears, guys. I mean, I don't know. Greg, I don't know. But apparently, Disney is planning to bring back Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. Well, duh. You're not going to bring him back as like, mailman number 7. I love how they put as Tony Stark / Iron Man. Yeah, same person. For Avengers Secret Wars. I'm nervous here. I'm really nervous. If this is true, is this long period? If this is true, does this mean we're still going to have him? If this is true, is it going to be AI or is it just actually him from another dimension? If this is true, what's the future? If this is true, don't kill him again. I can't do that again. I can't cry in a theater again. All right, I can't see him die again. That's just too much. What are your thoughts here? Do you believe it? Are you on it? Fuck Captain America. But Greg, what are your thoughts?
I hope they bring him back to kill him so you cry.
All right.
No, we all love Robert Downey Jr. No matter where we get him, whether it's in AI with flashbacks, maybe. That's where I could see it happening. I don't think we'll get him in continuity moving forward because it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I think we'll get some AI Robert Downey Jr. Everybody wants him. He's a great casting. It won't get better.
Yeah, I really wish I could pull off those glasses and grow my beard like him, but I don't think I'd do it any justice.
I think you should get those glasses.
I will. Let's do a crowdfund or what is it? GoFundMe or something. I'll wear them.
To raise the $3 to get them from Artine.
Yo, don't talk about Edith like that. Does that mean my Tales of Suspense 39 will finally rise in price? I don't know, man. I think you should just sell that book, to be honest with you, Dan. But hey, it is what it is. Mr. Brandon's in the house. What's going on? Swaggle House. He's in the Soul World with Black Widow. They both are coming back. They can make it work within the canon. Okay, what was the point of killing them and then like having Hawkeye be sad and then having Spider-Man be sad? Like they just
have Newbie be sad.
Yeah, but again, I just can't handle him dying again. Like, don't do that to me. Like, I don't know. I can't take it, man. I can't. A soul for a soul. When Steve returned the stone, I bet that brings Black Widow to life. So where is she, though? But that's the thing. Like, where is she now? Right? Because, like, we've had She-Hulk, who's basically addressed the fact that, you know, Captain America's dead and Iron Man. Then we had Miss Marvel. Like, there was some Iron Man stuff, right? Like, now we're getting Black Panther. So it's like, what time frame is this? When are they appearing? And I don't think that if they came back, like, they would be just hidden in the background this whole time. So I don't know.
I think it all goes down in the one episode of Nova.
Then Adam Warlock will find Tony Stark.
See, I think Adam Warlock might is going to be at the front of the cosmic Marvel universe.
Big time.
I think Gamora is going to stick around. I think Nebula is going to stick around. I think it's going to be Adam Warlock. I think we're going to get into Moondragon. I think we're going to go that direction.
I mean, there are a lot of women out there that could pull off that bald look and look sexy as hell. As long as they do the outfit like very so much comic accurate, I'd be down for it. She's hiding with Nora. Okay. Newbie, what does your therapist say to you about Iron Man's passing? My therapist is usually my wife, and she says, "Buck up, like you're almost 40." And it's like, whoa. Steve beat that Soul Stone Keeper Red Skull's ass. Yeah, we'll see. Well, guys, that was the news. Now we're going to get into what everybody has been talking about all week. She-Hulk season finale. Oh, boy. Now, my good friend Nemesis Prime, a.k.a. 50% of the Comic-Con podcast, basically sent me some videos like 2-3 weeks ago when I was giving this show like bad reviews and I basically said on this show, at the end of the day, this show is still going to be a 7.5. I'm going to make it premature assumption that this show is going to be a 7.5. Unfortunately, when I do the math, this show for me was a 6 out of 10. So it did not live up to that premature assumption or guess. Now, here's the thing. When I put my ratings up, some people like to throw stones, and that's fine because there's a lot of people that like to hide behind a keyboard. The only thing is you can't hide behind a keyboard in real life. So if I'm ever in your city, I will probably punch you in the face. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just an opinion. It's just for fun. So like we really need to stop throwing stones at people when they like just do ratings. I've had a few comments, and always nameless, but I had a few comments. People were like, "Noob, you don't know anything. You're such a clown. You clearly don't read She-Hulk." Yes, I don't read She-Hulk. No, I'm not a clown, but I did dress up as one when I was 7. There's a photo at my mom's house. that's pretty much it. I don't know what to say. Like I didn't really care about the She-Hulk comics, and I get that she breaks the fourth wall. My rating for the episode just wasn't based on the comics. I had some people say, well, it's you didn't like the comic accuracy. It's like I don't do ratings on the shows or say I like something because of the accuracy of the comic. Like 100% not true. So I don't know. It's just people, but it's a 5 out of 10. Now, I would still let her carry me into bed 100%, like big time. I really enjoyed the show. It was a weird take. Sadly, there are reports now saying that there won't be a season 2, and I'm kind of like disappointed. But in the finale, we do get that Kevin thing, say, we'll see you on the big screen. So my assumption is from that she's going to be showing up in a movie. Clearly, she's got something with Daredevil. So do we see her in Echo? Do we see her in Daredevil Reborn? I don't know. What are your thoughts here, Greg? I know I was talking a lot. I just get hyped with these shows. Also, Moon Knight sucks. Miss Marvel was way better. But what are your thoughts?
I'm very torn on this episode so that is her character, right? Where she breaks the fourth wall. She crosses platforms. She's not confined within a comic book. Now, times have changed and it's been modernized where she's not confined to Disney Plus, right? Because that's the platform that we're getting the story from. So where I had the issues is it felt very lazy at the end of it. I feel some of it was skipped over. Titania, like it almost seemed pointless.
There was no villain throughout this whole time.
No, but that's what you don't understand is like the trolls were the actual villains.
Yeah.
Right? So the media was the villain. But a lot of stuff that went on with there, I wish like Titania's awesome, but not in that show. I wish they did her a lot better.
I would fuck
and the introduction at the end was so lazy. Like, we can say the name now? Is that what we're talking about or no?
Go ahead. Say the name.
Scar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you want to, explain. Yeah, that's spoiled. That's a week, man.
Okay.
Here we
it was just so lazy at the end.
This
is my son at a family barbecue.
With the stupidest haircut. Somebody was like, dude, this guy's living in 3022. I was like, not with that barber.
Oh, really? I thought he had like LeBron James hairline going on. Just put a sweatband on him and send him out on the court.
Free Miami, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was like kind of stupid too, the way they do it. Like, hey, by the way, here's my son. And then it's just like over. I don't know. Here's another thing too.
And same with the Abomination ending to that.
But
like,
okay.
All that, okay, you're going to jail, and then Wong is just...
Yeah, so Wong gets him out. So obviously Abomination and Wong kind of have a thing, and we'll probably get that answer down the road. Could they go dark? Maybe Wong's dark. I don't know.
No, I think he's assisting in the Thunderbolts. Like, you know, and you heard the rumor about Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, but what happened? Yeah, with Harrison Ford confirmed. But okay, but what happens when Doctor Strange is like, yo, Wong, what are you doing? Like, are they gonna fight then? Like, is Wong gonna die eventually? Like, I think that's...
Well, we don't know what threat the Thunderbolts are being assembled to protect against. Right? So I think this all has to play out now. It's
true. The Marvel villain problem continues, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Would rather give Titania more involvement. Yeah, 100%. I think so. Here's the thing, too. I get the whole break the fourth wall and kind of do things. I just didn't like the fact that it was like, hey, okay, we're going to change the story. And then it totally changes and everything is like...
So nothing before that mattered
Yeah,
whatsoever.
it's like, oh, okay, so I could have just watched the last episode and understood every fucking thing. Great. I don't know, man. Everything works out. Because here's the thing. Episode 8 was great. Great. You had it finally built up. You know, you kind of were like, whoa, what's going to happen? There's only one episode left. She's in jail. Then all of a sudden, the episode starts with like all her like downfalls. Got no job, can't transform, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And then it's just fixed by, hey, I'm going to change the story. I'm going to see Kevin. Oh, okay. And then everything's back to normal. Like, I thought that was stupid. I think they could have played with something there, but I get it because all those people, the 6 She-Hulk fans in the world who read every She-Hulk comic. Probably gonna get mad at me.
But look at how the series are playing out, though. We didn't get much She-Hulk. We got Jennifer, right? So even though she was in her She-Hulk form, she wasn't like Savage She-Hulk or anything. We barely got any Moon Knight and Moon Knight. We barely got any Miss Marvel and Miss Marvel. Remember that show? People have forgotten about that show. You know, so it's like they are building some of these characters just as an introduction, and it's almost they weren't meant to be the bangers.
Yeah. The one thing too is who the fuck is Josh? Like, they hired him? Like, where is he? Did they take the blood? Like, that's one of the biggest things is like, okay, so if she like corrected everything, did they steal the blood? Like literally to me, that ending was a big like, hey, fuck you. You didn't even have to watch the last like 5 episodes because she's just gonna make her own ending anyway. Like, that's just kind of how I took it. It was kind of like I wasted all that time investing in this, and it was like just
I think if something like that happened halfway through and they were like, no, this is how it's going to go. But for the finale to have that.
Yeah, it was different, man. I don't know. I like the fact they went different. Again, it's different genre and this and that. So it's cool. Just, yeah, it didn't really finish out the way I wanted to. Here's something that I want to throw out too. And I think it was the creator. So I don't know. I have to find it. Somebody had sent it to me. But apparently, someone made the connection that Daredevil and She-Hulk somehow got married, like officially married in the MCU or whatever universe they're in or whatever made-up story they're in. They officially got married. Why? Because Matt Murdock is super Catholic-y, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you are. But apparently, he's super Catholic-y where he wouldn't necessarily have sex until marriage. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a joke.
Like, okay, so we're just gonna. I know the other series was not Disney, but we're just gonna throw that whole thing away. Like the whole Elektra thing, the whole. No, Daredevil's a player. Nah, don't shit on my Daredevil like that.
All I'm saying is, She-Hulk, Elektra. That could be something that we go to.
Well, there were A-Force rumors a while ago.
Yeah, and that book is like $100 now, so I don't know. They have good chemistry, right? She clearly likes him, and clearly they're in law. So I mean, I could totally see this kind of connection, this relationship, kind of building and moving forward. It just depends on what route they want to go to, because one of the biggest things I took away from it. So I try to watch things as 3 different entities, I guess you could say. So the first entity is Joelle, the fan of Marvel, the fan of the show. Then the second entity is Newbie, because I got to relay what I liked and what I didn't and do these ratings. And then the third entity is Specs McSpecs. And that's the guy that flips and specs, and I try to connect the dots. I just made that name up. Specs
McSpecs.
But you know, I try to look at it from that angle too, with those glasses, right? With Spec and what to connect. And I still think that Elektra is probably one of the biggest undervalued books that we have going, definitely. And if people
are Daredevil, man.
Yeah, and the whole run of Daredevil too, for that matter. But if we're looking at that stuff, I mean, Elektra's not too far behind. So I just don't know where they fit She-Hulk and Elektra if he's like getting with She-Hulk. You know what I mean? Because She-Hulk versus Elektra, I'm probably going to take She-Hulk. I don't know. I'd sleep with both of them, but.
Well, I think Daredevil, like, there's all sorts of bullseye rumors, right? So Elektra came in and out, and I do think there's a natural progression to that, but I don't think they have to rush Elektra necessarily. Yeah. And I couldn't get behind finding She-Hulk sexy. And I don't know if
you don't get that? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, for me, it comes across like she would have like a musk, like a wildebeest when she grew into that form or something. I don't know. It's just...
No, I would love...
I like Jennifer Walters more.
I would love her to carry me into the bedroom. Yeah. Just anyway.
By your toe.
That was actually Consenta who hired Josh to get the blood to make Red Hulk. That's actually a pretty good theory.
Yeah.
Interesting, Swag. I kind of like that. Empire, what's going on, dude? How you doing, man? Empire did a solid for me. Still waiting on it, but he got me the New York Post of the day Aaron Judge hit 62. So I got to get that shipped out. But he hooked it up. He went out of his way and made his way to a convenience store, Avondale, or whatever you call it. And yeah, so I appreciate that, man.
They still make newspapers?
Yeah, of course. Come on. What's wrong with you? Vancouver Comment Junkie. It would be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, though, if she took you to the bedroom, Newbie. She's a big girl. That's okay. That's all right. I'll be in a wheelchair for a week after that because I'll have a great story. They'll be like, "Why are you in a wheelchair?" It's like, "Because I fuck She-Hulk." And then they'll be like, "Oh," and I'd be like, "Yeah, now go get me a donut or go get me something, and I'll tell you about it." So, I think Captain Kirk was the first dude to bed a green chick. Oh God.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh man. Well, it was a good show. Unfortunately, right, we've got Black Adam this week. Then we go into a 2-week, basically nothing spell. Then we get into Black Panther, and then it's pretty much nothing until the next year, right? So it's going to be interesting. It's always a little bit interesting after these shows kind of end and there's nothing really around. And I don't want to say nothing because, DC people are out here, but, Black Adam and Black Panther in the next month. So those are big projects, big things. But yeah, it sucks. I enjoy having a show to talk about and a show to kind of just, escape from and connect the dots. So
timing was heavy too because it was She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, Andor. Boom. I almost feel like they slipped Werewolf by Night out a little too early.
Yeah, and
I think it could have come out.
And I don't understand why have Star Trek. Why have Star Trek with She-Hulk and it just makes no sense, right? So I don't know. I'll never understand what Disney does with.
Oh, we know you don't understand.
Let's see. Vancouver. Andor is the best nerd show going.
Andor is great.
Best? Okay.
After Newbie comics.
Okay, we'll see about that. All right. It's been great. Yeah. All right, Greg. That's the show, brother. Let the people know where can they find Greg, what's going on. And man, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. We missed our third amigo, but you know what? It's more airtime for both of us. So let the people know where they can find you and what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Rocksteady Collectibles on Instagram. I just posted a video on Sunday of a collection I grabbed. I rewatched the video and I'm half asleep. My eyes are closed. It was like a whole weekend adventure, loading it up from a basement and then unloading it again and going through what we could. So check that out. But yeah, thanks for having me, bud.
Dude, absolutely. I love hanging, love chatting. As always that we do, and of course the chat. Obviously, I love hanging out with you guys. But yeah, I don't want to spill too much because I don't want to take the spotlight away from what you're doing. But man, from what you've said, from what you've shown me, this collection is insane. I can't wait to see more of it and the books and just the whole journey, right? Because you're kind of on this journey. Enjoy it, right? Like you have to. You got to enjoy it. In our conversations, how we've talked, right, or how you've talked to me about it, like enjoy it, don't rush it. You know what I mean? So if you find
a lot of people have offered to come help or to go through it or whatever to help, but it's like I kind of want the joy, and my buddy wants the joy of being able to pull out that book and find it in the piles, right? So we're gonna take our time with some. We're gonna be selling some at a show coming up.
Listen, AOA, I love William Shatner. Shatner has actually been on one of my favorite shows. That show, Ancient Aliens. He's been rocking and loving Ancient Aliens. I even watch Unexplained, where he's actually the host. So I have a lot of respect for him. Plus, he's like 86, 87 years old, and he looks like that. I got a lot of respect for the guy.
I got to watch his panel when he was here at the con.
He's an interesting dude. He's, Swaggle House, if you find a Tales Suspense 39 in there, don't sell it to Newbie. Oh, come on, man.
I promise Swag first dibs.
Wow. You know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I would unfollow both of you from my MySpace, like in a heartbeat, and I
What
would
about
take
Messenger?
so everything. So
MSN Messenger too. Oh man.
Chat, I thank you so much for hanging out. Again, want to thank everybody who was hanging out. You guys have been great. Make sure you guys go follow each other in the chat. There's a lot of great content creators and YouTube channels and just personalities and just good people in here. So make sure you guys go follow them. I know Vancouver Comic Junkie's got a few things coming. Swag, of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself. I love everything he puts out. Go check him out. You got Dan on certain channels, Ozzy, you got Empire, of course. Kingpins just did their 1 year yesterday. So make sure you guys go check all these content creators, these channels. Love hanging out with everybody. We'll see you guys Tuesday. And guys, I got a big announcement coming. So be on the lookout because in about 3 weeks, I got something massive in the works. Like massive. Like Pamela Anderson sex tape massive. Not that I will be in a sex tape, but just the fact that her sex tape when it came out was massive.
Like Tommy Lee massive.
Yeah, I like that one better. But
in that sex tape.
That massive. So be on the lookout. And again, big shout outs to Spec Tales. They sent me a t-shirt. My brothers Jake and Jesus. Make sure you guys go check out that podcast. There's only 2 podcasts I listen to, Spec Tales and the Comic Con podcast. Make sure you check out both of them. Big shout out to Jake and Jesus. Love the stickers. Love the shirt. Any last words, Mr. Rocksteady?
Peace.
Last twisted tea. You won't see me drinking this next week. Later.